I did a podcast today, actually. It resonated with me about manifesting the life you want. And
Mm,
when you are a negative thinker, this is the exercise that I have people do. Like get two pieces of paper and a pen and just write down your story. Write down what you think you deserve, write down, whatever you believe about yourself.
hmm
You really tell yourself a lot of the time. And then you put that away, and then you bring out a fresh new paper and you think about what, even if it's imaginary at this moment, what life would you like to have? What kind of relationships would you dream about having? What kind of success would you like to have in your business, in your job, in your day to day? And write it out, because if you don't imagine what you want, and you don't imagine success. Like when I was younger, I always dreamed about having a radio show. And then when I found podcasting, I'm like, oh, I could get that same satisfaction doing my podcast, right? So I did it. No one trained me. I do them very naturally. I just do podcasts and then I do little commercials and I do little pop-ups. And I love it. It fulfills me. I don't care if I have a huge audience or no audience. I do it for me. So I didn't even go back to college till 32. I had not finished college. And then I realized I wanted to be a therapist. I had three children. I was married. I had just moved to Long Island. I said, you know what? Hell, I'm going to go to college. And it took me 10 years. I didn't care. And
hmm
I fitted in with the kids. Um, I always wanted a horse. And one day I said, you know what? I'm going to go to that barn down the road and take a lesson. And then I fell in love and got a horse. So I was going to college, had a horse, had three. Like, there is no excuse not to live the life that you'd like to have. And so when I look at my old story, you're not smart enough. Everyone's smarter because they went to college and you didn't. Or you're not rich, you can't have a horse. Who do you think you are? And that would be my old story. Or you deserve to be with bad men that are going to be mean to you, because why would you deserve love and respect?
Yeah.
So I threw that old story away. And I have to be honest, I went through a horrifying divorce in 1982. I divorced a divorce lawyer, if you can imagine what that was like. And so I went into therapy and I learned how to think differently, how to get in touch with my inner child, how to do breath work. We're talking back in the 80s before it was
Mm.
like cool. And it changed my whole life, which is why I thought, wow, if it changed my life, I want to help other people and play it forward. And so I was very driven, very purposeful. And I think, it's never too late to become the person you're meant to be.
Oh, for sure. And, you know, that's exactly what I'm doing now, right? So when you ask about what I would say to myself being 30, when I was 30 years old, like it is taking care of yourself and getting out of your head and realizing the stories that you have. It's like you have your own little mini series of it's all made up and how that kind of brings you down in your life. You're living this life that you're making up in your head. Um, and you it's funny that you say about breath work and all of that back in 1982 and how it wasn't popular back then. And man, if I was 30 years old and knew and was introduced to, how to conquer limiting beliefs and, all of this like meditation and breath work and how you really could, get comfortable with the uncomfortable, right? I have walked on hot burning coals multiple times. I have broke many boards. I have, broken an arrow with my neck. Like these are things that are normally,
Empowering.
but fast forward, I did those in my mid 40s, and man, what power if I would have done that in my 30s. But
When it's never too late. So even during
exactly.
COVID, I, had time. So I did ancestral trauma work,
Yeah.
which was going back and like breaking the myths or beliefs that we created when we were children.
Yes.
Like my mother said, you're lazy. So I believed I was lazy. I'm the most unlazy person you'll ever meet. But in my head, I identified as lazy, right?
Yeah,
Um, I did Hokami therapy, which before you referred that when you get upset or scared, you get a feeling
yeah.
about identifying the feelings connected to the feelings in your body connected to your emotion,
Mm,
and then breathing through it and letting it go. So there's always so much to learn.
yeah.
It really is.
And that's why, like, I've done so much work and continue to do. I'm doing a lot of research now with like energy work. 'Cause I'm a true believer, and doing my research on that. So it isn't it, and that's the purpose of my books. That's the purpose of Zen Horizon Group. That's the purpose of, holding like podcasts and little workshops, online workshops for women. It's because we always need to be working on ourselves to make ourselves be the best that we can be. And it feels amazing when we work on ourselves,
If
right? And
you
it's,
help one or two people
yeah,
who help their relationship, who help their, I mean, feel like it's one person at a time, but it's
yeah,
really not, because
right.
I had people that call me 20 years later. I give out rocks. I love to give out
Yes,
advice.
I have them on my table, on my nightstand
I love to give a 10.
collection.
And I say, look, your life might be crazy right now and we don't know where it's going to go, but this rock, no matter what happens, is going to be the same. Keep it in your pocket if you're scared. Keep it on your night table. People call me years later that made such an impact.
Yeah,
So it is a big deal to help people one person at a time, to
yeah.
write books, to do your lectures, to be able to really help other women and men,
Oh
it's
yeah. It's
beautiful.
we are different. Men and women are different. Like our feelings are different. Our makeup is different. So, we might go through things a little bit different than men, and that's why it's good to have that community. But I work with and have in my small circle some great men that have helped me with a lot of the work that I do, right? So it really is, man, woman, it doesn't matter. But you know,
There's people seeking knowledge, seeking relief and awareness and
yeah,
to really manage. We're not here forever, but while we are, we may as well be able to enjoy it
yeah,
as much as possible.
yeah.
And
And
have
like
peace.
living the life that we want to live. And it's our canvas, right? So it's us, we're the ones that
The
are
people on that
responsible for
original
that.
story are, I don't have enough, I'll never make it, I'm not
Yeah,
good enough, I'm stupid, I come from a poor family, why would I ever be success? It's like kind of like a self-limiting um
yeah. So
see.
what is it when I know you hear a lot with the limiting beliefs, right? And
Yeah.
women and men who come to you just like totally depleted, feeling bad about themselves
Yeah.
and like what is it that I know you have like that you talked about a little bit of here, take the two papers down or but is there anything else that you kind of give as like guidance on like what's the first step that you have someone do if they're really in a bad mindset?
So years ago, like maybe 15 years ago, I went to a therapist in Long Island because my daughter was moving back and she was a mess and broken up with, and my husband had lost his business and my mother was sick and my son was doing drug, like it was a shit show, right?
Yeah.
So I wanted to get a therapist for my daughter and I went and interviewed this woman. And I'm telling her, my husband this and my daughter that, and she said to me, "Whoa, take a breath. What does Suzanne want?" I go, "I don't know. I never thought about that." She goes, "Okay, let's take a minute. Just chill out. Like, oh, let them all go." I'm sitting on her gut. And I said, I want to move to Florida. I want to go with or without my husband. I want my daughter to get some stabilization. I want my son to get sober. And with or without all of them, my mom being in a nursing home, I want to figure out a way that she could either come there to a nursing home or not, but I want to move to Florida. She goes, "Okay, then now that you've figured out what you want, let's figure out how to make it happen." So I left there not only with hope, but with a plan.
Yes.
And so when I tell people, whoa, what do you want? What does Judy want? What does Bill
Yeah.
want? What does Lisa? They're like, what? And it just changes the whole perspective.